When you imagine the period of Jane Austen or Bridgerton, this probably isn't what you are thinking of. This is Brighton Pavilion, and it was constructed for the Prince Regent, though actually the current building was not finished until he had become king. It's a glorious absurdity that was actually really quite unusual in its own day, not just today. Brighton Pavilion was constructed as a pleasure house, a seaside venue. It was for entertainment, it was a holiday home. The outside is Indian in design, and that's an expression of the imperialism of the period, while the inside is Chinese style. So actually it was slightly out of fashion at this point in time. And what you are looking at when you see the building today is almost entirely reconstructed interior design, and that's because it was only actually used as a royal residence for a very short period of time. Queen Victoria didn't like staying there. She found Brighton too public, and she famously moved and had her holidays at Osborne instead. That meant that many of the interior spaces, things like fireplaces, were removed to Buckingham Palace, and the entire structure was handed over to the local council, who used it for local events and multiple other functions over time, including actually as a hospital for Indian soldiers. The curators here have been really careful about making sure that you understand what has been restored and what hasn't, why certain restoration has taken place, how it was done. The level of research and craftsmanship involved here is absolutely extraordinary. And I think that that allows them to really get across what this building was for. You need to have the grandeur, you need to have the colour and the level of decoration intact to properly understand this building. So I love the fact that there are these places through the visit where there's real detail given to how the reconstruction was done, and you get to see some of the original pieces that then have formed the basis of reconstructed elements. For me personally, the highlight is the music room. This space is incredible just in the level of detail everywhere. The carpets, the wall paintings, the ceilings, the chandeliers, all of it is absolutely wonderful. Just dragons coming out your ears. And everywhere you go, you get that same level of detail. Looking at the banisters coming up the staircase, where you've got painted pretend bamboo. The kitchens, which George IV actually saw as part of the staterooms and would invite some of his guests to visit, have these wonderful palm tree columns in them. And in the vast majority of the rooms, visitors will be able to see an image of an original illustration of how it looked at the time. That's formed the basis for the reconstruction. So you can see that what you are looking at today is an accurate representation of what happened in the past. I absolutely adore this building. If you haven't seen it, you really need to get down there. There is nothing else like it.